Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Fantasy Football Podcast. It is me, Joe Pisapia, and today we're going to take a look at some must-have running backs. And to help us find those specific names that we just can't leave drafts without, Scott Bogman and Andrew Erickson here. Scott, of course, one of the hosts of our Dynasty Football Podcast, and Andrew Erickson also on the Betting Pros. If you haven't, go subscribe to Betting Pros and subscribe to this channel right here, Fantasy Pros. We're trying to get to 300,000 this year, and we can do it with your help. Plus, if you subscribe, drop your comments below. Who's your favorite running back this year that you gotta have? Guess what? You might win the A.J. Brown Salute to Service helmet. Go Birds! That's right. Look at this thing. It's glorious. It's absolutely beautiful. A.J. Brown autographed it himself, and it's from pristineauction.com. How do you win? Subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop your comments below, and boom, you're automatically entered to win that A.J. Brown helmet. And of course, you have to ring the bell till it goes ding so you never miss a piece of content on the channel, and we can let you know if you are the big winner of the A.J. Brown autographed Salute to Service helmet. All right, let's talk about some RBs here that you need to have in your drafts. We're also going to talk about some guys that are climbing up the boards, down the boards, and maybe some guys you want to reach for as well. So, Andrew Erickson, let's start with you here. Give me an RB that you just need in 2025.
For me, I really want to get exposure to this rookie running back class. A lot of these guys are more expensive, though. So the cheapest rookie running back that I can find that I feel like I can always leave my draft with is Bhayshul Tuten, rookie running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, he was handpicked by the new coaching staff, the new regime, by the Jaguars. Liam Cohen always gets his guy at the top of round 4. And I fell in love with Tuten when I first turned on the tape from him in college. And then he blew up at the scouting combine. I got to interview him. So there's a special place in my heart for Bhayshul Tuten because we made eye contact and we actually had a connection when I was asking him questions about making the jump to the NFL. So
Erickson looked like Charlie and Mac looking across the restaurant at each other.
So
a question for you, Andrew. What song was playing when you guys locked eyes at the combine? Just curious.
Oh, man. I don't know what song was playing. There was no song. Probably
You
something
have to
NFL
let
media.
it linger.
Yes,
Something by the Cranberries.
That's it.
Yeah. Either that or Zombie.
All right, so you're a fool for Bhayshul Tuten. Tell me what his upside is for this season.
Fool for Bhayshul Tuten. I think that he could be this year's Bucky Irving. I really think that that's in his range of outcomes. Now, it's easy to copy and paste that because you're making the connections. Well, Bucky Irving was drafted by the team that played for Liam Cohen last year, but you look at the depth chart for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Travis Etienne has not had the best seasons as of late. Tank Bigsby popped a little bit last year, but still he's an incomplete product, he's not used a lot in the receiving game. And Tuten just at the college level was just absolutely dominant. 30% dominator rating, 37% dominator rating last season alone. That was despite battling through an ankle injury. Finished 2024 top 10 in the FBS yards after contact per attempt. And he tied Bucky Irving. So Bucky Irving from 2023 entering the NFL in terms of missed tackles forced per attempt. That was according to Sports Info Solutions. So I just think that he checks off all the boxes. Yes, I get that he's right now RB3 on the depth chart, but I think that he's going to continue to rise up if ETN or Tank Bigsby kind of disappoint. And he's going outside the top 100. So there's no reason why you don't leave your draft with Bhayshul Tuten on your bench.
All right, Bogman, we just did a draft, and you did not leave that one with the guy that you're going to talk about. TreVeyon Henderson from the Ohio State University, and the playmaker the Patriots so desperately need.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is why you come to this show, because rankings are great, right? But they don't put everything into context. And I want to lead with TreVeyon Henderson. If I have a back that I've drafted before him that I feel completely confident about, if I take an early Bijan, a Saquon, Achan, just one of these upper echelon running backs, give me the upside of TreVeyon Henderson as my 2-back, and I will pick out of the next group of running backs a floor guy, because you have all kinds of options. As Erickson mentioned, with all of the rookies coming in, there's all kinds of upside risk you can take down there. There's all kinds of floor down there because they're being pushed by the rookies moving up. So to me, if you have a solid RB, TreVeyon Henderson, I think he's already better than Stevenson. He's explosive. He proved that on his kick return, right? And he worked better in a 2-back system last year at Ohio State at his highest yards per carry in college. Just looked like a very strong back, caught 26 of 30 passes. It's a demon as a pass blocker. So his floor is as a receiving back, as a low-end receiving back. That is his absolute floor with an enormous upside. And this dude profiles like Devon Achan, who just doesn't need to touch the ball 30 times to be effective. He needs 15 to 22 touches, somewhere in that neighborhood. He's going to break one or two of them and hopefully gets in the end zone, and he's going to catch passes in your PPR league. So I just don't see a lot of downside to Henderson.
Look, it's funny because I was big into Achane his rookie season. They got hurt right before, and I started to shy away from him, and I wish I had not, because I do agree. I think that's a really good comparison of what TreVeyon Henderson's, I think, floor is. And look, Devon Achane only played 11 games his rookie season, right? He was RB 24 with 11 games in terms of fantasy points. So TreVeyon Henderson played 17
Henderson
games.
Henderson is 20 right now, ECR 20. So he's going right at that bottom end of RB2.
All right. And again, if you're trying to, figure out different builds where you're trying to make some of these running backs work on your rosters, Draft Simulator right now, that's the way to run quick, easy, realistic mock drafts. So make sure, if you haven't already, sync your leagues for free at fantasypros.com. Create an account. It's very simple. Again, it's free. And go use fantasypros.com/mock, or just download the Fantasy Pros app today. Fantasy Pros app is there for you for all of your mock draft needs. Sync your leagues. Use all the tools. Don't be a tool. And rock out with your mock out today. All right, let's get to some ADP climbers that you want to reach for. Andrew Erickson, let's go back to you. And this one hits home here for Scott Bogman because it's one of his Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kaleb Johnson. Now, I don't know if he's necessarily an ADP riser after. I think that he was okay in the first preseason game, but I think that things can improve for him as the preseason rolls on, because I think that Kaleb Johnson, when he's at his height, he's going to be a freight train that cannot be stopped in the Steelers offense, because you guys made the comparison with TreVeyon Henderson's skill set to Devon Achane, but I look at Achane in the comparison to Kaleb Johnson as the scheme fit, right? When Achane got drafted in this Mike McDaniel offense, we all kind of thought the same thing, man. This is the perfect running back for this offense. And that's exactly how I feel about Kaleb Johnson in this Arthur Smith offense. When I was doing the prospecting with Kaleb Johnson, the first guy I compared him to was Derrick Henry. And who was so successful in Derrick Henry's, Arthur Smith's run offense. So I think that with the vacated touches from Najee Harris, over 300 opportunities, we know that Jaylen Warren's not the hammer in this backfield. We know he's not going to be carrying the ball 20 times. When the Steelers are trying to ground and pound, play strong defense with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, I think Kaleb Johnson's going to be the guy that they turn to. 6'1", 224 pounds, absolutely dominant last year at the college level. I think that he's going to be a hammer for the Steelers offense. And again, he goes around 6'7", where you don't feel like you're overreaching on him. You can add him as your RB3, when I think he has RB1 upside in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I love where he's going in drafts. I wish I could have got him in the last mock we just did. But Boggs, when you talk about a rookie running back landing in the perfect spot, that's how I felt about it. That's how Andrew felt about it. But you're, Mr. Black and Gold. Did you feel that same way?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very, very good fit. I think beginning of the season might be a little annoying, right? So I want him as an RB3. For whatever reason, Kenneth Gainwell started over him in the first preseason game. I think that's eye-rolling, right? Like, that's not going to be the way it is. So let's just go with but he's just a little bit behind. And he also doesn't offer a lot of pass catching upside, but there's probably close to 300 touches. Who cares? Like, sure, you're not going to get that passing volume or whatever, but you might get a lot of touchdowns from him. So the Steelers offense might be wretched. So maybe not too many touchdowns, but if Aaron Rodgers gets them moving, he is going to be the goal line back 100% without question. You're not tush pushing Aaron Rodgers, so it's going to be
not on that Achilles. Not a chance.
I tell you what, you might just turn around and hand the ball to Darnell Washington at some point here. I think would be a smart play, but I think Caleb's going to be pushing that pile a lot.
My favorite offseason reel is definitely the one where they have slow motion Aaron Rodgers working out, and they're playing like the Cialis commercial over it. It's just the funniest thing, and he's just like throwing the football
just missing
real
two
slow,
bathtubs,
going through. Yeah, he's going through the cones and stuff.
I'm surprised that Copperfit hasn't called him yet.
All right, let's get one more fit for our rosters at running back. Boggs, who's the copper fit for you at RB? That's an ADP climber you need to reach for.
Let's go with Isiah Pacheco, and I think just the healthier that Pacheco looks in this offseason, the higher he's going to climb on my board specifically. And, they added Brashard Smith. Brashard Smith is a decent back at SMU, but I don't know. He's not going to push Pacheco this year. Kareem Hunt looked washed at the end of last year, and so did Pacheco. And I know people may be saying, look, I saw Pacheco at the end of last season, and he's dusted. He's coming off a fractured fibula from week 2, right? And if you need proof that he was not the same guy, look at his yards per carry. They went from 4.9 to 4.6 to 3.7. You know how many tackles, missed tackles forced he had last season? 4. He made nobody miss. He had no wiggle. He had no burst. So he came back and he played on this wrecked fibula for a little bit because it was well enough for him to play. But Deepak Chona told us when this injury happened, that he was not going to look the same when he came back until he could properly rest this for a full offseason. He's had that full offseason. He's put on weight. They didn't add another back. This team didn't go out and add Chubb or any of the backs, Dobbins, laying around. So I think that this tells me Pacheco is going to be their guy again. You're not going to depend on a late-round rookie, and Kareem Hunt did look washed last year without an injury. So to me, I think it's Pacheco by a wide margin, and they're still one of the most potent offenses in the NFL.
There you have it, everybody. Those are some must-have RBs from Scott Bogman and from Andrew Erickson. But what are yours? Drop your comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Let us know who your favorite RB that you got to have this season, whoever that name is. It might win you an A.J. Brown autographed helmet. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For Bogman and Erickson, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.